are many roles that she performs. She is like an administrator, she is a pedagogical leader, she is there for the financial controlling of a school. And very important job that she takes care is also the capacity enhancement, the training, the workshops, the curriculum, the functions, the trips and tours, everything. CBSE has also come forward in a big way through COE, where the principals have to be involved all the time, making sure that their teachers are taking the benefited and the teachers are taking the important trainings to upgrade themselves, and that the policies is there to follow by the principal and themselves as well for their teachers. Now we have also spoken about a principal as a boss and as a leader. There are many things that day Dipti ma'am tried to differentiate between a boss and a leader. And after that, now the responsibility of our principal was that we ended was to make the school a joyful place, make school no anger zone, supports experiential learning, a principal who supports art integration learning and who makes sure that joyful classrooms are happening, and who integrates the life skills and curriculum as well. So all this we have covered that day. Today we have two speakers in the continuation of the same module, where Deepa Bhatt, Principal, Noida Educational Academy, and Mrs. Poonam Kumar, Principal, Manthan School, Greater Noida West.
Rita Sharma.
Will be taking on to this. Rita Sharma would be taking the session today. So first of all, I would like to invite Deepa Bhatt Madam to please start chapter 7 and 8. You will be starting, Madam?
Yeah, I will be starting with 7.
And then 11 and 12, you will be continuing with that. So the screen is all yours.
Oh, thank you so much. Ma'am, you have already, created the background of the workshop.
Yes.
So I'll start with the continuation of all 5 chapters. 5 chapters have already been covered by my colleagues. Very beautifully, they have been explained. So just for recapitulation, I want you all to do an exercise. I'll start with the poll. That's a kind of recapitulation. Principal, the lot of responsibilities lie upon the shoulders of principals. So let us have some self-assessment, whether really we are doing the jobs imparted on us, or we are lacking somewhere, or we need some brushing up and all that. So here I launch a poll. Just give me a second. I'll start with the poll. So it's a small exercise to do to maintain a connectivity with the previous chapters, with the forthcoming chapters. So it's a poll. I want you all to join it. Just give your ideas. MCQ is there. Read the questions. First question is, I have knowledge of RTE and RTI. RT is right to education and RTI is the right to information. Next is, I know NCTE Act and rules, recruitment, leave and promotion policies. So I hope all principals must be knowing this. Kindly give the poll within 2 or 3 minutes.
Deepa ma'am, kindly launch your poll.
Yeah, I have already launched. Ma'am, you are co-host, you will not be able to.
Okay, that's why. That's why.
Yes, ma'am. So within a couple of minutes, I'm going to end the poll. See, it's a kind of self-assessment. Though we all are doing all these works, we are on the verge of it, and still we are handling with this manual. This is a kind of refreshing and recapitulation, or we can say the revision. I can see it is written, I'm the active member of School Management Committee and Record Minutes Committee. So sometimes some principals are writing, sometimes also, though the principal is a very, very active member of School Management Committee. She acts as the member secretary of school management committee. Okay, shall I end the poll? Dipti ma'am, shall I end the poll?
I think everybody must have done it by now.
Yeah, I have ended it. Yes,
Okay.
fine. So I can see means not all questions are with 100%. That means we need brushing up. We have to go to the each and every nook and corner of the school, because principal, as ma'am in the previous workshop said, principal is the leader and everybody has to follow. So that's why. So now I'll start with the forthcoming chapters. They are chapters number 7 and 8. In first part, I'll take NCF, National Curriculum Framework, and another is the IT sector of CBSE, and then I'll end my presentation with the assessment procedure. Is my screen visible, ma'am? Sadhna ma'am?
Yes,
Is it
yes,
visible?
yes, yes. It is visible.
It is visible. Fine. So
It is visible.
okay, thank you so much. Here I start with the curriculum. Curriculum before NCF. NCF was, it was framed in the year 2005. But before that, which type of curriculum we people were following when we were in our school? The learning was not joyful. It was joyless learning. Examination system, we had only 2 examination systems. One was half yearly and another was final term examination. And the syllabus was divided into 2 parts. Equal division of the syllabus was there. And in final terms, we will have to cover whole syllabus, and we were assessed and evaluated on the basis of whole syllabus. Now, examination system, it has already been changed. Complete changes there. Next is the textbook as the truth. So when we were kids, when we were studying in the schools, textbook was the only resource for us to gain the knowledge. But nowadays we have Google Boys, Google Girls, they have a lot of resources with them. So we must encourage, we must welcome them for their queries. Next, same is the syllabus, structure of the syllabus. Syllabus was, as I told, syllabus was divided into 2 parts, one half for half yearly and next in final term, and then it was collectively given in the final term. So a lot of flaws were there before implementation of NCF. When NCF was not implemented, this type of classroom may be assumed, but we certainly do not want this. Here we can see a child comes to the school with raw brain, and we give information, and we give, teaching. Our teaching is like that. The child mugs up, rote learning is there. And in the last years of his schooling, the child vomits, takes degree, and forgets about all whatever the child has learned. So certainly we do not want this type of education. We are focusing on holistic development of the child. So here at this point, there was need of national curriculum framework. Before national curriculum framework, the school system is characterized by an inflexibility that makes it resistant to change. So no flexibility was there. If we see the today's scenario, at the last moment in the month of November and December also, we are getting guidelines from the CBSE for marking scheme. Some changes are in the marking scheme, sometimes fluctuation in the syllabus. So the need of the child is kept in the mind, and this strategy is flexible, but earlier it was not there. Learning has become an isolated activity. The child has to do his work separately, individually, but now we are encouraging the peer learning and group activities. Schools promote a regime of thought that discourages creative thinking and insight. What is presented and transmitted in the same of learning in schools bypasses vital dimensions of human capacity. Means in nutshell, I want to say that before NCF, just teaching was going on. What was the learning outcome that we cannot certainly see. Now, in the year 2005, NCF came into the force, national, that is National Curriculum Framework. And what was the perspectives of this framework? It was to articulate ideas in the past, to shift learning from rote method to experiential and to art integration, connecting knowledge to life outside the school. That means now the focus is on the holistic development of the child, to integrate examination into classroom learning and make more flexible. So before this examination pattern, we already had encountered that CCE pattern also. CCE pattern was strictly based on the integrated examination classroom learning and make more flexible. So no much changes have been done in this examination system. Art integration is a kind of CCE. Experiential learning is also a kind of CCE. Subject enrichment also we are taking, that is also kind of CCE. To enrich curriculum so that it goes beyond textbook. Now the curriculum which we are following, that is not strict to the textbooks. It is beyond the textbooks. Now focus of NCF. Where does NCF focus? For NCF focuses on learning without burden. Means our focus, even the focus is to make the learning joyful. So activity should be incorporated in involvement of the students in that, so that when a child goes to the school, the child must go with the wow feeling. To develop a sense of self-reliance and dignity of the individual, whether it's a child or an adult or adolescent. See, everybody has dignity, everybody has self-respect, so we must respect their dignity, and reliance should also be there. We must rely. To develop a child-centered approach. Now whatever policies and strategies have been made, they all are child-centered. The child is kept in the mind, not a syllabus is kept in the mind. Child is kept in the mind, and according to that, the flexibility is taken. To inculcate feeling of oneness, democracy, and unity in the students. Social curriculum, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, and sex. This all we have to see, that we are giving equality to the all students. NCF on how children learning. So NCF focuses how the children are learning. Are they learning through experience, making and doing things, experimentation, reading, discussion and asking, listening, thinking and reflecting, expressing oneself in speech, movement and in writing. So here the scenario has totally changed. Now the involvement of the child is there. We are asking for the experience of the child. We are allowing the child to do the experiments. We are allowing the child to read, to do discussions, and after that we are listening to the child. We are allowing them to think and to express. NCF on effective learning environment. Learning takes place both within school and outside school. Means learning is enriched if two arenas interact with each other. If in school and out school, these two arenas will interact with each other, definitely the child will grow up. All children are naturally motivated to learn and capable of learning. It must be paced. It here stands for learning. Learning must be paced, means learning should be in such a way which allows learner to engage with concepts and deepen understanding rather than remembering only to forget after examination. So content should be cleared instead of mugging and roting. Learning can take place with or without meditation, must provide variety and challenges and be interesting and engaging. Means a child should also be engaged everywhere. So like nowadays we have switched over from actual classes to the virtual classes. The reason, the motto behind this is to engage a child. I do not know whether the syllabus will be completed by the end of this session or not, what is the learning outcome, but yes, I'm sure that the child has been engaged positively and the brain is not empty now. So it is must. The child must be provided with opportunities to inquire, question, debate, reflect, and arrive at concept of new ideas. Child has a most curious mind. So if a child comes with a lot of queries, questions, kindly welcome the child. Listen to the inquiries, listen to the questions. As I have told earlier, now the students are not confined to their textbook. They are Google savvy, they are tech savvy. Learning takes place through interactions with the environment around, nature, things, and people, both through action and language, which is called direct cognitive significance. We can arrange some activities where we can involve communities also. If I say for my school, what I used to do, every year I used to do some campaignings like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan or anti-drug campaigns. Here I involve the communities, means neighborhood communities, they join us. So it creates it develops a good rapport of the school, and communities are also involved. We can learn the aura of mind of the people by doing all these activities. Projects and activities can be carried out in groups. See, I literally focus on this point. Projects and activities can be carried out in group. Peer learning is the best learning. We can give projects in groups. Instead of giving to an individual, we can make 4 or 5 students group, and single project can be given to the student. Moreover, we will have to, we want to assess the child. Evaluation is the last point. So assessment can be done. So quality, we must focus on quality instead of quantity. For my, on my perspective, what I feel, a child must be given one topic for all 5 subjects. Let's say if I say to make a project file on BMI, means body mass index of your family members. Yes, here the child will calculate BMI. He will put his all efforts. Case studies will be done. Some drawings will be there. The child will make some graphs also. So we can assess on every corner, at every part. The child can be assessed everywhere. But what the student has done, he has put his whole focus on one project. So here we are giving them quality instead of giving quantity. If a child gets 5 subjects, 5 projects, that is a quantity, that is not quality. The same child is assessed on different areas. Allow the student to make set of questions as per their comprehension. Why the student is always asked, answer the question? Why not question the answer? We can start with that also. Question the answer. It will increase their comprehension capacity. Let the child read the comprehension. Let the child read the passage. Let the child comprehend it, and tell the child to frame the questions. Once the child starts framing the question, definitely answers the child can be able to write. So up to class 7th, we must focus that our student must be independent for writing, and at least for literature and for numeracy. Art and work provide opportunities for holistic learning, which is rich and tacit and aesthetic component. So that is why art integration has been incorporated in all the subjects. So it enhances the holistic development. So doing all these activities or following NCF, this type of classroom we can create. We can create such classroom. Means there will be joy in our classroom. So everybody want this type of classroom, and this the OOPS classroom will be transited into WOW classroom. See here 2 classrooms I'm showing on my screen. One I have quoted name boarding classroom, and another is an interactive classroom. First classroom seems like monolect is going on. No participation of the child is there. Only lecture method is going on. So this class can be boring classroom, and such type of classrooms supposedly were before NCF. Second one is the interactive classroom. The students are interacting on smartphone board. They have been engaged, they have been involved. So here we have created an interest and happiness in the classroom. Now, pedagogical plans. If I talk about pedagogical plans, CBSE has issued guidelines related to pedagogical plans. Every year we get a PDF of pedagogical plans where we need to fill whatever we are planning for the whole year to be submitted to CBSE. This task of pedagogical plan goes to the principal. The task of the principal is to combine all annual pedagogical plans of all grades and subjects of school into an annual pedagogical plan of the school, and I hope we all are doing it. So once the NCF is set, like means we have got the vision. Now we have to fulfill this vision. So there will be some mission, and to accomplish our mission, some action plans should be there. So these pedagogical plans are the action plans. Here I'm showing you annual pedagogical plan of the session 2019-20. I hope everybody must have filled it and submitted to the CBSE. This year also we are going to do that. Here we are writing all pedagogical plans which we are planning for the whole session for our school. See, now how to execute NCF? This is a big question. Till now we were doing theory, whatever NCF says, but from here we will start the plannings, how to plan. So first of all is the pre-planning. Pre-planning is essential before teaching. Plan with subject, not with content in mind. Use a predictable lesson structure, listen to student thinking. Very frequently or usually I listen from the teachers that if I or anyone says to introduce yourself, most of us say I'm teaching SST or I'm teaching English. Very rare to listen that I'm teaching a student. So we must focus on a point that we are going to teach a student, we are not going to teach a subject. So if we will focus a child in our mind, means our education, our learning, our teaching should be child-centric. Then comes students' thinking. We must welcome the thinking of students. Learning to go beyond memorizing content, giving students the opportunities for sharing their thinking, monitoring student thinking through discussion, portfolios, journal entries, detailing responses to literature, answer to interview question, and self-reflection. A lot of brainstorming is here. Then comes lesson structure. Starting and ending of your lesson a certain way helps students become comfortable as they know what to expect. Providing time for independent or group work keeps students engaged. Create space for students to reflect on their academic work and social interaction. Next is focus on open-ended topics and attaining the objectives of lesson. Rather than egging students toward one right answer or memorizing facts, students should be given opportunities to engage, debate, interpret, disagree. Let them try. Let them give wrong answers. We must keep in our mind, at least the child is attempting it. Don't go for right. Just see the child is attempting. Whatever you are saying, he or she is responding. That is must. Now, facilitation techniques to probe thinking. The way teacher felicitates student talk determines success of lesson. Use language that supports and fosters student thinking. See, language is the medium for expressing our ideas, transforming our ideas to another's brain. So we have to see, we must have command on our language. If a child is not understanding in English, why not we come to Hindi? Why don't we use bilingual language? Though we are living in India, so it is not compulsory that English medium schools should be stricted to give instruction in English only. Language is just a medium to express the views. So sometimes we have to go bilingual also. Now is study tryouts. First, have students try the strategy in groups. Just after direct teaching example, how to predict or draw interferences. Try out reading a draft and using strictly notes to insert details. Tryouts means, first of all, we will explain to the student, we will give the concept to the student, and then we will make them free to try out whatever they want to do with this context. How would the learning outcome will be there? Then is the independent work time. Now, as I told, up to class 7, child must be independent, at least for literature and numeracy. The child must know how to frame a sentence, how to do the calculations up to class 7. If child is missing, if child is not able to read, that means the bus has already missed. Now nothing can be done. So in early age, that's why we always focus on the base. The word always is said, the foundation should be strong to make a child independent till the age of 12 or 13. Reflecting and transition. Whatever we are delivering to the student, however we are explaining the content, that reflects. Then is the lesson facilitation. The teacher explains and the child gives. Valuing moments when students don't know answer. This is the most important point I feel. If a child is not giving answer, do not discourage a child. Value the moment. Give the child time. Tell him or her to take his or her own time and allow him to answer whether it is right or wrong. Some more ideas can be incorporated, though it is not given in NCF, but still using wait time wisely gives student opportunity to mull over a question and idea. This is the best way. Even now during our online classes also, we can create breakout rooms for the student. We can send the student in groups to another separate breakout room. They allow them to discuss and come up with some ideas. Connecting students thinking using discussion prompts, like means once allow the child to speak, and this type of prompt should be used. I agree. It shows that the child has done something on his own. In addition to, I cannot believe, I believe, I suppose, or in my opinion, such type of words, they are the ornamented word. They give beauty to the child's talk. Using cooperative structure, turn to your partner, think, pair, share. I've already discussed about this breakout rooms. Using non-judgmental responses. Again, let the child respond and don't be judgmental. Whether the child is speaking right or wrong, what is the language problem, always start with the positive, and then afterwards rectify the mistakes. The word you rectify the mistake, don't be judgmental. Building a class community, a context for taking risk. Yes, take risks, do experiments, whatever fits, go for that. Now my pedagogical plan means our pedagogical plan, competency to be focused on. A full workshop has already been done on competency based education. Competency means overall development. That is literature, that is numeracy, that is development of brain, ethics, moral values, means holistic development of a child. Identifying how this competency related to other disciplines to real life, that we have to make. We have to make a child to identify the competency related to other disciplines and to real life. Now, what are the resources required? Obviously, if you are going to execute something, if you're going to explain something, you must be in need of resources. So just go to your stakeholders and put your requirements over there. Challenges to be focused. So whenever we will start a new thing, definitely challenges will be there, and we as educators are always ready to take the challenges. Lesson plan with innovative pedagogy to meet the goal. See, all lesson plan will not be same kind. The methodology will be also different. So we have to plan our lesson plan. Means we have to do our plannings very seriously, very sincerely, by keeping the outcome of that in our mind. How to make our school an inclusive school. What is inclusive? Inclusive means inclusion of special child or specially able child also, normal child, inclusive of work experience in that, art integration, experiential learning, competency-based learning, means it's a blend. Inclusive means it's a blend. So first of all, integration in vision and vision. So what is vision and what is mission? I just want to tell you. Vision is our motto, our target. And whatever activities we do to complete that target is mission. And once the mission has started, that means we have done our action plans. Then is the orientation with all and of all. We must involve parents, teachers, stakeholders, and community. If I take my example, whatever decision I take, whatever step I want to take, I always involve my teachers in that. I take their consents because they are the one who are going to execute it. I'm guiding them, I'm leading them, but they are the real executors. They are the real heroes behind all success. So I always take my teachers in my decisions. If they deny or they refuse, I never go forward for that. Same is the stakeholders. Stakeholders are the backbone of the school. They are they pat from the behind. So we must involve stakeholders also in our all decisions. Community, without, as we are the social beings, we cannot move without community. So involvement of community should also be there. Empowering teachers, we all are doing this. We are giving in-service trainings to the teachers. We are trying for effective communication also, and key plannings and teaching strategies also. Here, I want to highlight the word effective communication. If there are the gaps in the communication, the message goes wrong. The message may go wrong. If see, I have read somewhere an example. The ship was about to sink. Fine. So the captain of the ship, he was trying to save the ship, and what he said, his message went wrong because communication was not effective, and people thought that now we are going to die, and some of them, they just jumped into the water, though the ship didn't sink. So communication should be effective, very, very effective. If communication is not effective, our messages go wrong. Sometimes messages go wrong. That's why I'm insisting to use bilingual for the students. Strategies and techniques for principals for inclusion are, here the role of principal again increases. She or he has to increase awareness, create a future with trained professionals, build on existing human resources, organizing trainings and workshops. A big challenge comes in front of principals, that is resources available. And the best, I say, the best person is that who avails the available resources and come up with the outcomes. And for to meet all these requirements, the CBSE has created hubs of learning also. Then teaching methodology. So we have, I have explained about NCF, what is NCF, what is the vision of NCF, what are the strategies of NCF, what are the lesson plans. Now, ultimately, we are going to the class with some methodologies. Teaching methodologies, the methodology should be reflective teaching, differentiated instructions, experiential, project-based, community approach, diverse content, and collaborative. Classroom practices and instructional practices. Establish students' prior knowledge. If you are going to start with the procedure of photosynthesis, if I take an example of process of photosynthesis, so we must judge prior knowledge of the child. Here we can take some live examples. We can take the class to the garden. We can show them different colors on the leaves. We can tell them if a leaf is in green color, that means it is it's having chloroplast, chlorophyll in it, and the leaf like croton doesn't have chlorophyll. Then proceed from simple to complex. Once I have explained why this leaf is green, then I can go for simple to complex. Now I can explain the student about chlorophyll. What is the role of chlorophyll? Use step-by-step approach. Again, then experiment can be done with alcohol. As we are doing experiment, use real apple instead of showing apple card. See, this is very important. Development of the brain goes up to 8 years of age, and at that time the right brain, which is which take the things from visualization. So that is very active brain at this age. So instead of showing artificial things, we must focus on the real things. Relate learning to real life. Use sensory elements, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. If we are teaching a class of 40 to 50 students, every child has his or her own specification. A child can understand by visualization, another can understand by auditory, and another may be kinesthetic. If I take example of windmill, suppose I'm explaining the working of windmill in the class, and I'm drawing on the blackboard the working of windmill, what is the force behind it. A child who is looking at the blackboard, just monitoring my hands, chalk and all that, one child can understand by this method. Another is auditory, not looking at the blackboard, just listening to me, but understand. The third one is the kinesthetic. This type of child wants to try it, wants to experiment it. What this type of child will do, he'll take a piece of a paper, that child will make a fan, it stick with the stick, and he will run here and there in the corridors. So the concept is understood. What NCF says? NCF says, come to the learning outcome. What are the strategies behind it? Leave up to the students and just promote those strategies. Means you have to understand your students. Provide opportunity to build self-esteem. It is must. You give opportunity to each and every child to come up. give them stage, allow them to speak and motivate. Concentrate on individual child. Teachers say it's quite difficult to concentrate on individual child, but still a small exercise we can do, as we are doing with our nursery kids. We are doing a welcome exercise with our students whenever they are coming to the school first day. We are greeting them in different ways. Some students, they are giving high five. Some means 4 parameters we are keeping: one high five, and one kissing, hugging, and another one is namaste type, like joining hands. So no pre-training has been given to the student. They are, whatever they are doing on their own. On this basis, we can judge a child. If a child is giving high five, that means the child has a lot of confidence. If a child is hugging, needs love and compassion. So this, in such a way, we can identify the qualities and mental aura of the child. One more thing we can try, as even some schools are also doing, home visits. Some schools are sending their teachers to the homes of children. They are seeing their livelihood, how they maintain their home, how they are keeping their books and notebooks. This practice is also, this experiment is also being done. Give positives before negative. This is very, very important, not only for the student, it's important for everybody, every human being. Instead of highlighting negatives, just you start with the positivity. If a child is naughty, not doing the work, work is not completed, you must start with this child, your child has a lot of energy, but we need to channelize it. In such a way, we must start our conversation. Keep variations in instructions and assessment with multiple intelligences and cooperative learning. Don't think that your simple and straight instruction will strike to each and every child's mind. So we have to do the fluctuation. We have to change the board of instructions also. Establish a supportive, respectful classroom environment. Obviously, if these parameters, if you will be in such parameters, your class will be happy classroom. Increase student self-awareness. The student, those who are coming to us at the age of 3, they have knowledge, little knowledge they have some awareness also. We have to increase their awareness. Grooming of the children is the responsibility of ours. Effectively communicate and collaborate with family, student, and colleagues. Have faith on ability of the student rather than disability. Every child is born with some abilities, some specifications, some special traits are there. Every child is born with that. We must see to that. We must brush in that. Being educated, it's our moral responsibility to groom a child. We have to see, we must have faith on their abilities instead of disability. This disability, try to eradicate, try to improve, but abilities try to enhance. Different ways of assessment. See, framework we have done, how the lesson plan to be, we should make lesson plans. Then teaching already we have done. Now the end point comes assessment. So first of all, I just want to tell you, there is a clear line of demarcation between assessment and evaluation. Assessment is for a teacher and for the student. If a teacher is doing a lot of hard work in the class, she's giving her 100%, she is using different strategies and methodology to clear the concept, it's her right to assess the child, whether the child has gained something or not. So the assessment is must. And evaluation is just for the parents, because marks, they run after marks, and evaluation for the admission in higher classes and all that. So assessment is more important than evaluation. As I have talked about inclusive school, in inclusive school, we have variety of students. We have specially able students also and normal students also. So we have to see each and every requirement of each and every child. If a child is visually and low vision child, give a large font paper, distraction free sitting, oral responses, recorded assessments using scribe. Hearing impaired, if a child has a hearing problem, just give limited questions to answer, use of communication. Encourage sign language, online exam, assessment through activity. Specific learning disability, like dyslexia. Mark for content, not for spelling. If a child is attempting, that means trying to do something. Use of graphic organizers, labeling of diagram instead of drawing, MCQs and option-based questions. this is my strategy, high five learning strategy. See, and CBSE also encourages it. This picture I have taken from CBSE manual only. Sports, performing arts, puppet, storytelling, and theater. If you see all these 5 parameters, 5 strategies, here is the holistic development of the child. The child will work, his all sensory organs will work over here. If the child is in sports, he or she will develop the physical stamina and sportsmanship. If performing arts, the brain is also working, hands are also working, means all sensory organs are in active. So I'll end NCF, means lesson 6 and 7 with this quote: teaching children is an accomplishment, getting children excited about learning is an achievement. So the motto of NCF: to create happy classroom, to create excitement for the student to come to the school. So this is all about 6 and 7 chapter NCF. So 8 and 9 ma'am will be taking. So there is a gap. I just want to connect you. Same thing we used to do in our classroom teaching also. If a child comes back from sports games period, should we start teaching immediately? What do you feel? Should we start teaching immediately? No, we should not, because the child is switching over from physical activity to books and notebooks. So we must do some activities to connect the child. At least recapitulation we can do. So that's why what I want to do here, I'm also switching over from NCF to IT sector of CBSE. Both are polar parts from each other. So I want you all to do this. Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. So what I want, you just take 2 minutes, 1 minute rest, have water, relax, slow down, meditate, smile. Take your time. 1 minute relaxation you can take.
Very nice. Very nice, Deepa. Thank you. Wonderful. I really am missing your previous sessions, really. So recapitulate.
Thank you, Deepa, for explaining. Yeah, thank you, Deepa, for explaining your chapters that you have prepared on NCF. You also touched upon on CCE, digital classrooms, pedagogical plans, how a principal should go about it, then challenges that the principal faces, then lesson planning, how beautifully they should be planned. You also shared the information education that we must take care of, and how can we make our school an inclusive school. Also you spoke about then teaching methodologies and hi-fi learning. This was a wonderful, very beautifully summed up all the topics and all the subtopics. So this is nice, and please carry on with another 2 more chapters you are going to cover.
Yeah, 2 more chapters I'm going to.
Yeah, 2 more chapters. Okay, fine. So that would be wonderful. And then Rita will be covering the last.
Deepa madam has energized all of us from the hectic schedule.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I sum up with these chapters, and let's continue. Come back to the same with same energy. Let's do one more exercise over here. This is a tongue twister. I want all participants to come forward.
Yeah.
This tongue twister. Who want to do this? Just unmute yourself, open your camera and come forward, please. Yes, Sadhanam, you try. Sadhanam, you try.
I will fumble.
Okay.
Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled pepper. 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 Yeah,
good try.
Good.
Anyone else want to participate? Please come forward.
Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled pepper,
but I would like to try.
Okay, try.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper.
Very good. Very lovely. That means the participants have not lost the energy. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So again, back to the pavilion, please. I'll start with initiative of CBSE in information technology, IT sector. CBSE has developed a number of portals, mobile apps for the smooth functioning and for saving the time and energy of school management, teachers, even students also. So I'll start with online school affiliation and monitoring system. We already have done this, though we all are the principals of affiliated schools. So this procedure we have already done, and after every 3 year or 4 year, again, we have to come back to this portal for upgradation and all that. And one information I just want to share with you all, for upgradation, for extension of the affiliation, the portal is open till 31st of July. 1 month has been extended. This is an online affiliation management system in which the entire process ranging from registration for various categories of affiliation grant rejection has been transformed in digital form without any human intervention. This is very good thing that manpower is not required here, and all IT sector people, they are doing a marvelous job at CBSE. This is my personal experience. Within seconds the work is being done. Then is satellite imaginary, like in OSS and all that. If we are posting images, pictures of the school, they are geotagged. So everything is, all work is going on cloud, and 22,000 affiliated schools have been mapped using latitudes and longitude information extracted from geotagged photographs. Even this year, while we were uploading the marks for practical exam, the photos were geotagged. Geotagged photos were only allowed to submit. So this is very good thing, means authenticity will be there. Then is online exam center management. See, it's a very beautiful portal. It's very easy to handle. The student, they are they are taking a sigh of relief by this examination portal. It contains real-time exam center related information, form opening of the question papers. Actually, it is for the centers, examination centers, not for the student. Sorry. So. It contains real-time exam centers related information from opening of the question papers till dispatch and information about observers. Everything is being monitored. If I say CBSE, you know, CBSE has become upar wala sab dekh raha hai. All our informations are with CBSE, all are going. So matlab upar wala ho gaya, wo sab dekh raha hai. Next is Parinam Manjusha, a CBSE repository. It's a CBSE repository. At present, result data of class 10th and 12th examinees of 16 years, like 2000 from 2004 to 2019, is available for the verification of employer. See how beautifully it has been designed, and its beauty is that the authenticity, and even the employer or anybody can see whether the degrees, whether the certificate is genuine or not. So whatever the malpractices were earlier being done by some of mafias, that definitely this is going to stop all that. Then is the digital locker. If you notice this time, the result came in the digital lockers. The student got results in digital lockers. So encourage your student to log in digital lockers and keep their certificates in that. User ID and password they can create on their own. So encourage the students of classes 10th and 12th to use digital locker. Integration of Parinam Manjusha with e-Sanad of MEA. What is it? CBSE Academic Repository. It is CBSE Academic Repository. Parinam Manjusha has been integrated with e-Sanad portal of MEA for online authentication of academic records for the student going abroad for higher studies and employment. Again, nowhere to go, from this portal only the verification and everything can be done. Earlier what were being done manually, now it is all online on digital mode. OSCs we all are doing every year in the month of September or October. Here we need to give all the report, all information regarding staff details, number of student, categories of the student, what is the salary package, whatever it is. And CBSE is picking up observers, evaluators, invigilators from this portal only. So be careful while you are filling it. I have already told upar wala ban gaya CBSE, so be careful. All data is synced. All data is synced, so we are under the surveillance. Exam center located app. This is also very beautiful app. If a child do not go for this Google Map and all that, child can find out his or her examination center by this app. by entering their roll number only. This app guides the shortest route and time taken to reach examination center, means it works as Google Map. Now, e-theory, online theory award list, allocation management, and marks uploading. We all are doing it. Means whenever the paper is checked, answer sheets are checked, the marks are uploaded. Same for the e-practical also. The examination is entering the marks on the same day. IPA 10th. X stands for class 10. Online internal assessment marks collection for class 10. This portal is for class 10 online internal assessment marks collection for class 10. Examination live streaming. See, definitely the technology has brought a revolution. Examination is going on in a examination center, and the surveillance is in the hands of CBSE IT department. A portal that allows live streaming of video from CBSE exam centers to have close control on examination activities at examination centers. CBSE on Umang, UMANG. CBSE pioneered, means CBSE is the first organization to be on board of unified mobile app for new age governance with 4 mobile apps. These are the mobile apps: school locator, center locator, class 10-12 result, JEE main results. So nothing, no need to go here and there, hither and thither. Everything is present on the portals, and we can find all these portals in www.cbse.nic.in. CBSE on NAD. CBSE pioneered to be board of National Academic Depository with academic documents like mark sheets, pass certificates, and migration certificate. You can get your certificates from here. The other portals are OVERS, Online Verification of Evaluation and Re-Evaluation System. CBSE Shagun portal. A portal has been developed for facilitating schools to upload details of various activities. KYA is Know Your Aptitude. This portal has already been designed. Here, what we can do, the school can administer aptitude test. Then OECCS, Online Exam Center Consent System. OTAS is Online Teachers Award System. Digi Siksha, Online Repository of Digital Content for classes 9 to 12. OATS is Online Aptitude Test System. These all are online platforms CBSE has developed. So IT is working so hard in CBSE. Saransh, it's a portal and app also. It is a tool for comprehensive self-review for school and parents. It is open for parents also. Parents also put their reviews over there. eCBSE portal and app. It has collection of 110 CBSE books in electronic format. Means it is a flip book format. We can get the books from here also. Digital marking, on-screen marking of answer books. Adhyapak is another portal. Here, online collection of principals and teachers data bank. Whatever we are filling in the OSs, that is synced with this Adhyapak portal, and CBSE randomly picking up principals and teachers for evaluation, for observing the examination centers and all that. Chhatravriti, as we all know, that is a scholarship portal for application for various scholarship schemes of CBSE. There are a number of guidelines. You just surf this portal. Now, with this, one more chapter has been completed, and last one is we have done a lot of practices, lot of instructions we have done. So assessment, you know, end mein assessment to banta hai na, itna right to banta hai. So CBSE is also guiding time and again, but assessment, we people are on the assessment verge also. So here, this is SQAA. If I talk about, this is School Quality Assessment and Assurance. Here, CBSE wants, CBSE focuses on quality. We are getting affiliation, there is no problem, but we have to maintain the quality of education in our school. So different parameters are there. CBSE judges every time. Random inspections are also there. So if I talk about SQAA, what is this? School Quality Assessment and Assurance. The main purpose of school quality assessment and assurance is enhancement of quality, recognition of excellence, and promotion of accountability. Means whatever we are doing, we have to promote, we have to improve. Then after every 3 years, it has been started from the year 2020. So after every 3 years, we have to update our information on domains of SQAA. And what is the process of school quality assessment and assurance? It is done in two phases. First phase is self-assessment and another is validation by external. Self-assessment is like in OSIS, we ourselves are putting our, updating our information and all that. That is self-assessment. Second is validation by external. Validation by external means, as we all are the members of Hub also, so any Hub member can do inspection and can give report to the CBSE. Another one, CBSE can appoint any inspection committee member randomly, so random inspection can also be done. So this is second phase. So we must retain the quality, and we must, whatever CBSE is giving guideline, we must abide by all these, and we are getting all cooked material, nothing to be done. If seriously or sincerely we will follow the manuals, we have just turned the stone. We have reached up to the vision, whatever vision we are taking for our school. So thanks for listening to me. I hope I have not bored you. I'll end my presentation with this beautiful quote: the most valuable resource that all we have is each other. What I find in Sahodaya platform, we are connecting to each other. Sahodaya is doing, Deepti ma'am, really you deserve great applause for this. She is connecting each and other. We must come forward, hold the hand, and we must upgrade ourselves every day. Without collaboration, our growth is limited to our own perspectives. So we need a collaboration. Mighty groups we must make.
Okay.
Let's work under one umbrella.
Thank you, Vidya ma'am. Thank you so much. So not right. It was so well explanatory itself, so I don't need to put in my version into it. So let me just call upon Rita madam. Please come forward and start your presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
मैं दूं?
Am I audible to all of you?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, you are.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Your screen is also visible.
Good. So once again, a very good evening to all of you. So a lot of things has been covered in the handbook of principal, and there are last 4 chapters: hubs of learning, what CBSE expects from us, school management disaster plan, and the assessing of a principal. These are 4 chapters what I have to cover, and I have tried my best to make an overview of all the chapters.
That's
So
all.
I am just going to share my screen before you. So what CBSE expects from us, it is the academic expectations. All boards, CBSE does not follow any stream-wise division of subjects. This means a student can opt any subject of his or her choice. For example, she can opt fashion studies with physics, mathematics, and accountancy. So the very first phase of what CBSE expects from us, in this chapter, it has been quite clear that in which way we have to select the stream and in which way we have to take the permission of the subjects. The very first point, we do not lay down streams in our schools. We only teach those subjects in our schools for which we have a specific permission from the board. We ensure that we run only approved number of sections. It is very clear to all of us. We follow teacher numbers and qualifications norms. Out of subjects clubbed together, only one subject is opted by a student. So when we just see the academic expectations, we have to just keep these points in our mind. And subjects at secondary level, the long list it has been given in this handbook of principal. So subjects at secondary level, there are different kinds of subjects. Subjects at senior secondary level, and class 12 subjects other than languages, and all the long list, which it is quite impossible to show that. So I have just given website www.cbseacademy.nic, we can just see that what are the particular subjects for particular classes and particular section. Here we can just see for class 9th and 10th, there are different phases, different types of the subjects. Compulsory subjects, subject language, subject 2, language second, subject 3, 4 and 5. These are the major subjects, and these 5 subjects are the compulsory subjects. These optional subjects, subject 6 and subject 7, skill subjects, it has been added, and all of us we know about that. Co-scholastic area, subject 8 and 9, art education, health and physical education. So the assessment of subject 8 and 9 in class 9th and 10th, it depends upon the school assessment. It will be counted on the assessment of school. So these are academic expectations. There are 5 petals. These are major subjects on which we have to focus, and all the subjects what has been prescribed by CBSE, it has been bifurcated in these 5 petals. Languages, it is just tells us that what is the reading, writing, speaking and listening. All the languages makes the clearance of all these 4 things. Social science, it clears the social, economical, political, environmental dimensions of the subjects. Maths and technology. Maths, it is related to the logical ability. Technology, it tells us about the spatial relationship. And science, it is related to investigation and experimentation. And physical education, performing art and visual art, it tells about the aesthetic value of the subject. So these are 5 petals, and these are 5 major subjects, and all are secondary level subjects, senior secondary level subjects has just have been bifurcated under these 5 learning aspects. So in all subjects, we can just see the disciplinary approach in our curriculum: disciplinary, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and transdisciplinary. So disciplinary, working within a single discipline. For one subject, working within a single discipline, when we just teach one subject, it is just related to one single discipline. And multidisciplinary, students from different disciplines working together, each drawing on their disciplinary knowledge. Interdisciplinary, integrating knowledge and methods from different disciplines using a real synthesis of approaches. Transdisciplinary, creating a unity of intellectual frameworks beyond the disciplinary perspective. So here it is the diagram. Disciplinary, it means one subject. Multidisciplinary, when we just take a more than 2 or 3 subjects, it becomes the multidisciplinary approach. When we integrate the more than one subjects. Interdisciplinary, when we just make the theme of a different subjects. Transdisciplinary, when we try to see the different aspect what we have learned, that is called transdisciplinary. We can just see over here, it is the first figure. It tells about the disciplinary. It is interdisciplinary. Here we can just see English, science, history and geography. So here we can just see these are the interdisciplinary skills what we can just learn from each and every subject. It is literacy, thinking skills, numeracy, research and skills. So when we just make a focus upon the interdisciplinary, these kind of skills just come in front of us, and then after we tell that what is the purpose of interdisciplinary. It is multidisciplinary. There are different kind of subjects. And here transdisciplinary, where we can just see the different core areas of different subject. It is related to theme, concept, life skills, real world context, and a student's questions. So authentic and relevant learning for 21st century, a beautiful session has been organized on behalf of Sahodia related to 21st century skills. Here, because the purpose of 21st century just learning, it is a preference for doing rather than listening. It is real life learning. Here in this picture, I have just tried to show the different color. All colors are telling the different subjects. And when we mingle all these colors, then the transdisciplinary approach multidisciplinary approach, interdisciplinary approach. Just it becomes the amalgamation of different kind of disciplinary approach, and we are able to learn something. So really 21st century, this time is for the doing, not for the listening. How are beliefs connected to the way we express ourselves? Do all cultures express their nature and feelings in the same way? Why is it like this? How is it connected to other things? It is our responsibility while teaching in our classroom that what kind of questions, what kind of thinkings, what kind of ponderings we are trying our best to we are just trying our best to make the questionnaire in the mind of the students. What is our responsibility in expressing feelings and ideas? Why has the concept of aesthetic changed through time? Where does creativity come from? So while making the learning aspect in this time, in this era, it's very prominent to just make such kind of questionnaire while teaching or while just transforming the knowledge among the students. What you want to say and what they are interested in. It is the main thing, because we know very well that you have prepared yourself for teaching, you entered in the class, you want to say something, but when you have entered in the class and what actually your students are what they want from you, whether they are quite ready to listen to you or they have become quite bored. Sometimes it happens that the previous teachers, when you have entered in the class, the students have become quite bored, and at the time once again you have started the same strategy, by that strategy or what methodology you have also started again. So I think the whole just purpose of our education or the whole purpose of our subjectual deliverance, it will be just quite null and void. So it's our responsibility when we are just going in the class, when our teachers are going, then relevancy of the time, relevancy of the content, it's the mandatory aspect of our teaching learning process, that what we want to say and what our students wants to listen, whether they are quite comfortable or whether in which scenario we want to express ourselves, it is relevant or not. Next, NCERT curriculum and its constituent units. Chapter 2 of affiliation bylaws, it just tells about the detailed overview of NCERT curriculum. Every principal, it's the responsibility of each and every principal to just make the just details or to naming the names of the NCERT books, and it must be uploaded on the website. And if you people are just prescribed the private publication, then you have to upload the whole list of your books. So these are some particular just instructions on behalf of CBSE, and the detailed view can be just seen in chapter 2 of affiliation bylaws. So NCERT with these constituent, NCERT is working with these just constituents units. NCERT with these constituents has been serving the cause of qualitative improvement of school education since its inception in 1961. So these are particular constituent units of NCERT: NIE, National Institute of Education; CIT, Central Institute of Education Technology; RIE, Regional Institute of Education. These are in different cities: Ajmer, Bhopal, Bhubaneswar, Mysore, and Shillong. ERIC, the Educational Research Innovation Committee. So NCERT with these constituent units works a lot, and then after it has been decided a lot on behalf of NCERT. So design, develop, deploy, and implement. So now educational and functional impact. Educational performance is not limited to academic performance, but may also include functional, social, and developmental information. It's our duty that first of all we have to design, then we have to develop, we have to just think in which way it will be developed, then deploy, and then implementation. So educational, it's not educational performance is not limited to the academic performance. It is just different parameters or different scenario can be included in it. It can be functional, it can be social, or it can be developmental. Individualized education, SMART, it has been already in the previous meetings or previous session, it has been told by I think Renu ma'am, that SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant to education and time limited. So while transforming our knowledge, we have to focus upon the individualized education and in which way we can achieve this, the SMART formula. Goals should be straightforward and emphasize what you want to happen. Specifics helps us to focus our efforts and clearly define what we are going to do. Specific is the what, why, and how of the SMART model. For getting this SMART model in education, I think I have just given that we should use, our conversation, it must be more clear and more evident. We should ask such kind of things. For example, if we want to say to our staff members, or we want to guide, or we want to make a discussion with our staff member, we should ask such kind of things. What are you going to do? Use action words such as direct, organize, coordinate, lead, develop, plan, build, etc. Actually, what happens when we say that you have to do it, or you have to do that, so what you have to do? So just make the action word while making the planning as direct, organize, coordinate, lead, develop. Why it is important to do at this time? What do you want to ultimately accomplish? How are you going to do it? So we to set a specific goal in education or in our teaching scenario, we must answer the 6 W questions. It means who, W, there are 6 W's, and these are the questions. Who is involved? We should ask such kind of questions when we are setting our goal. What do I want to accomplish? Where? Identify a location. When? Establish a time frame. Which? Identify requirements and constraints. Why? Specific reasons, purpose, or benefits of accomplishing the goal. So while selecting the goals, we have to just keep these 6 W's in our mind, in our brain. The very important things that comes under the lap, in the lap of principal, that this is the documentation, or this is the records retention schedule. It is a one aspect in this handbook of principal, documentation. So documentation or records retention, these are the prominent points what must be kept, and it always remains in the mind of a principal that there are different kind of records. So while keeping the record, or while retention, when we retention the records, then there are 3 things. First of all, we have to just recognize our skill, in which way we just make the planning of our records retention, in which way we make the schedule of our records retention. So it will become the system of your institution, and then it will become the culture. So while making the records retention, there are different kind of records, as electronic records we are having in our school. So meet legislative responsibilities, ensure records are stored when needed and destroyed when permissible. It's very prominent. As being a principal, it's our foremost duty to make the records retention schedule at any time, and in which skill we manage these records retention, it will become the system of our school, and ultimately it becomes the culture of our own school. So meet administrative responsibilities. All public records have lifespans that are determined by standards issued under the appropriate administrative authorities. There are as different kind of records, as storage of school records, lifespans of school records, public access to school records, school reunion, notes on particular school records such as UDIs, OSS, staff personal file, student reports, expulsion records, and financial records. So these are different kind of records, and we have to prepare ourselves for these records retention schedule. Tools to manage and implement change, as authority, concern, and influence. As being a principal, these are 3 aspects, and we have to we make a focus. But there are an important thing is here, if we are showing that, it means we are the authority for doing some particular work. I am just going to explain here. Authority, what areas, projects, your work do you have the authority to decide upon the act on those decisions? When do you make those decisions on your own, or when do you include others in the decision? So it's your authority in which way you are doing that work, how many people are going to include with you, in which way you are taking the decision, in which way you are doing the work, influence what areas of organizational decision making you're able to influence. When you don't have authority to make the decision, how do you influence them? So concern, where are you limited, you have no authority, and in which way you can make the concern. So there are three things: concern, influence, and authority. If we are having the concern and we are if we are having the authority, and if we are not having the concern for the particular points, and if we are not having that capacity to influence the people, then we will not able to manage and implement the change in our institution. So these are 3 points are complementary to each other. So authority, concern, and influence play a pivotal role in managing and implementing the change. Supervision framework: expectation setting, new staff orientation, setting annual goals. These are some expectation settings. Creating professional development plans, reviewing and revising work plans, delegating, assigning projects, reviewing and revising job description. These are some mutual expectation setting. Regular communication, discussing current projects, workload and deadlines, identifying and solving problems. Regular communication, it needs that wants the ongoing schedule of our own work. Giving timely, appreciative and developmental feedback. Coaching and supporting. Performance review, quarterly and biannual performance reviews, annual performance reviews, setting annual goals, creating professional development plans. So this is the particular supervision framework what we have to follow while dealing with all kinds of settings in our institution. We have to just prepare one way of expectation setting, one way for regular communication, one way of performance reviews. These are three important framework of supervision, and in which way it must be supervised by a principal. Head of the school: duties, powers and responsibilities. CBSE affiliation bylaws chapter 6 में it has been said in a very elaborative manner. Be responsible for the proper maintenance of accounts of the school, school records, service books of teachers and such other registers, returns and statistics as may be specified by the society and board. Ensure that the tuition fees as levied are realized and appropriately accounted for and duly appropriate for the purpose for which they were levied. And it is just quite clear, all of you, as we are just aware with this point, that already a district committee has been just constituted for this purpose, and we people have to follow all the instructions given by this district committee. Make purchases of stores and other materials required for the school in accordance with the rules governing such purchases, and enter all such stores in stock register and sell scrutinized bills and make payment. So these are some specific duties, responsibilities and roles of a principal what we have to just keep, and then after we have to make a schedule for the retention of such kind of things. Make satisfactory arrangement for the supply of food, drinking water and provide other facilities for the pupils, and ensure that the school building, its fixtures and furniture, office equipment, lavatories, playgrounds, the school garden and other properties are properly and carefully maintained. So these are some specific duties. Conduct physical verification of the school property and stock at least once a year, and ensure the maintenance of the stock registers neatly and accurately. These are some specific roles everybody knows about that, but right now in this chapter we are just going to revise once again all the things. Be responsible for proper utilization of the pupils' fund. So these are some specific duties, and after that, why, what and how. These questions are particularly for us, for just for the head of the institution, in which way we as being the principal, if every time we will just say why, So it will just make us some lagging behind. Not enough focus here. What too much focus here? What and how? So as being the principal, what and how we have to put our attention for these two words, not for this why. Enough focus here. Expectations and behaviors. What are the some expectations as being the principal, as being the professional? There are 3 points: professional, respectful, and accountable. So when you expect that we are complete professional, these such kind of behavior we expect: arrive to work and all meetings on time, adhere to dress code guidelines, ensure all written communications are error free, and use appropriate tone that considers the varied audiences and client groups that we serve. Respectful, if we just make these expectations respectful, then what kind of behavior we have to show? Greet people in the hallways, treat colleagues at internal customers, clean up your area and do your part to clean the common area. Accountable, meet all deadlines, come prepared to meetings with minutes from the last meeting, questions about the agenda and ideas to contribute to the topic, respond to request in a timely manner. So there are 3 key points to remember about communicating your expectations in terms of behavior. It is very prominent and it is very important slide. Principles for development. What, as being a principal, what are the principles for development? This is the slide: 70%, 10%, and 20%. So in which way we learn? Formal training classes, we learn only 10%. By phrase the behavior in terms of positive action when possible, explain what you want and your employee to do. So formal training classes we learn only 10%. Learning through relationships, mentoring and coaching we learn 20%. But in our job experience, interaction and development, we learn 70%. So it is the principles for development: 70, 20 and 10. Capacity building programs, it is a lot of things has been said by Deepa ma'am also. Capacity building programs, it has been the good initiation of CBSE, and our teachers are just going to be mentored under this program. Every school just sending in service training house teachers have been trained by the under the core guidance of capacity building program. So a Pearl is an oyster's biography. I have tried to just tell that this pearl, it comes when it is the symbol of our capacity, and oyster, it is the symbol of our just attending the programs or just making the labor for, or for it is the just oyster is the symbol for making the labor. What we are just making, what we are, what kind of capacity or ability we find. So Pearl is an oyster's biography. Capacity building programs support development skills, learn, teaching, knowledge, coaching and skills. These kind of things are mandatory for getting when we just quite perfect to get the capacity building program. Experience building teachers' capacity, learning with understanding, academic enrichment program, teachers' effectiveness, benchmarking, curriculum design, assessment designs, all are these things make the academic enrichment program. And overall, it must be supported and monitored by us. Hubs of learning. It is one of the prominent just initiation taken by CBSE. Here, tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. Actually, this quote I have just quoted here to tell that the main purpose of hubs of learning is the involvement, it's the making the interaction with our fellow members. Need for hubs of learning: develop self. This just this picture I have just taken from the handbook of principal. Develop self-directed students aware of their potential. Create educational leadership that collaborates at all levels. Develop student outcomes. encourages professional development among teachers. These hubs of learning, the main purpose of hubs of learning, these are particular points on which hubs of the foundation of hubs of learning lies. Encourage professional development among teachers, bring together expertise for improvement of all stakeholders. Experiential and joyful learning, mobilize teachers, parents, students, and other community partners, create inquiry-based learning with sharing of data and research, embed practices into school communities for accelerating improvement. So here we just see that the main motto, main purpose and object of hubs of learning, it develops the self-directed learner and create educational leadership. 22,000 affiliated institutions have been grouped into 4,500 district hubs. Its outcomes: hello?
Yeah,
Hello? Hello, ma'am?
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Slide. It is a new step towards academic proficiency. To achieve this, it will consider a group of schools and the communities around them as a unit rather than an individual school. The Learning Hub is a collection of handmade concrete towers surrounding a central space that brings everyone together, interspread with moves, balconies, and gardens for informal collaborative learning. So under the banner of hubs of learning, we learn a lot. It has been used as a unit for a learning. Self-directed learning cycle, as in that slide, what we have just taken from the handbook of principal, where it has been told that we make our students self-directed by the medium of hubs of learning. For that purpose, we set the goal, then we plan, then we learn, then we show, and then we reflect. So 4 key stages to independent learning. In which way because self-directed learning cycle is very important, and in this time where our students are sitting at home and we feel that the main purpose of our learning, of our education, become the self-directed learner. We have to create the self-directed learner. So there are few important points, there are few key stages to independent learning: being ready to learn, being autonomous, organized, self-disciplined, able to communicate effectively, and self-acceptance. Setting learning goals, set positive goals, phrasing goals. Positive ways helps your child approach task in a positive mode. So set. These are the, instead of here, set positive goals, phrasing goals. In positive ways helps your child approach task in a positive mindset. Instead of I wouldn't do anything after school until I study, try I will study every night for 1 hour before starting other tasks. This is the example what I have given here, in which way we have to set the learning goal, and in which way we have to just make the goals in a positive way. So when we say that you will not do anything, we must try this thing. I will study every night for 1 hour before starting other tasks. Be as specific as possible. Break big goals into small steps. Rather than aiming to be a straight A, students aims to improve your child's grade from a C to a B. It is the example what I have given, that all students are not learning in a same scenario. Every student is having the different kind of capacity to learn, to think, to ponder. So when we say that you have to improve yourself. We can't say that from grade A, from grade C, you have to reach the grade A. First of all, we have to improve our child grades from C to B and then B to A, so that he may become the self-directed learner. Write down your goals, records his or her goals in writing and revisit them from time to time to help remind and motivate your child. When we are just talking about the self-directed learner or self-directed learning, so it's our duty to tell our students that you have to record your goals in a writing mode. You have to revisit them time to time. You have to help him or her, you have to remind and you have to motivate your child. So when he will just see the dream, he will learn, he will work, he will win, and it makes the repetition. For example, read one chapter of a book each night, review my notes for this subject, whatever subject. Just set the goal for your child, in which way that in a slow way you have to set the goals for your child. Just say कि I will teach or I will read 30 minutes this subject every day. Then after he will try his best to read 1 hour for every day. Then after 1.5 hour every day. So what will happen from grade C to B to A? So it is the systematic, you can just systematic journey from C to A to B, and in which way we can set the goal for our student, and in which way we can just make the positive changes in the personality of our student. Fitness and wellness, it is the prominent part. Good health, it has been discussed, and it is the prominent part of CBSE initiations. Good health is defined as complete coordination of body, mind and soul. Our health has been our emotions, mind, body, spirituality and souls. It means the effect, our health affects by these all factors. Our emotions, if our health is good, then our emotions will be positive, our emotions will be happy, our mind will be smarter, more smarter, our body will be just healthy, we will become intellectually just strong, and our soul will be more pious. So for making CBSE has taken the initiation for fitness and wellness, and it has been just said to all of the schools one period has been allotted for health and physical education, and sports has been integrated in the in all of the subjects. So it has been taken the initiation, because if our health is okay, then our students' emotions, mind, body, intellectually, they will become more intellectually sound, their emotions will be more positive, their mind will be more smarter, their body will be more stronger, and their soul will be more pious. Lack of activity destroys the good condition of every human being, while movement and methodical physical exercise save it and preserve it. And in this lockdown, unlock period or lockdown period, or you can just say in this COVID-19 impact, when there are a lack of activities among our students, so a lot of initiations have been taken by CBSE. They have just given the live videos for the students. They have just make a lot of focus upon the Department of Physical Education. They have given a different kind of programmings, because lack of activity destroys the good condition of every human being. Environmental conservation, it is the important aspect, and CBSE has just given the Eco Club guidelines. So in Eco Club guidelines, several schools are doing the different kind of works. Even expression series are coming on behalf of CBSE. Earth does not belong to man, man belongs to the earth. So environmental intelligence, we are just working under the banner of environmental intelligence. It is the first and foremost duty, all of us. Here I have just given this picture, and I have tried to show that these are 5 natural resources, that fire, just sky, earth and water, and it is the air. So these are 5 elements in this world, and we have to work for their conservation. And it is the CBSE has also given a beautiful manual with the name of Sustainability Green School. So we are just following, and I think today it is the green festivity naming the Tej, and most of the schools, the eco club of most of the schools has become more active, and they would have just done a lot of activities under the banner of eco club. Art integration, experiential learning, learning outcomes, competency based learning. So we have already taken good sessions upon these skills. So art integration, visual art, theoretical, a beautiful session has been organized on art integration. This is the picture what I have taken of I have taken from my own school, and I have tried that we have inculcated the arts in a visual mode. So it is the beautiful poem composed by John Keats, and the beautiful line is here, and in which way just student has tried his best to make the visual concept of these lines. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. It is the beautiful poem, a thing of beauty, and the perfect line it is here. It is loveliness increases, it will never pass into nothingness. So that a student has tried his well that what are the particular word has been spoken by the poet, and by the medium of those lines he has tried to sketch these visual art. There are few just examples what I have tried to show you. There is a beautiful poem, Aunt Jennifer's Tiger, so that students have created this visual view. Continuous improvement, it is the part and parcel. It is just a prominent thing for as being a principal, we have to work for this continuous improvement, in which way we have to prepare our exam preparation, then assessment undertaken by candidate, then standard setting we have to do, then marking, then grade award, then at risk remarking, release of results, inquiry upon results, then assessment design. So when we are just serving or when we put ourselves in the duty of exam preparations, we have to put these things and we have to make a focus upon these criteria. So continuously striving to make assessment more meaningful, more reliable and fairer. Maintain your standard. We maintain our student standard. For how do you communicate your standard to your examiners? Standard meeting, but a period